Sanje Juda Sowe Junamna, Janjo Badu, Dani Jasu She, Dagashin Soji Besona. Ola Vinju Sanje Dubara Sanje Juda Sowe Junamna, Janjo Badu, Dani Jasu She, Dagashin Soji Besonam Jin, Ola Vinju Sanje Dubara Sho. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha even for sentient beings. I go for refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha even for sentient beings. Refuge and to enlighten to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha even for sentient beings. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham datagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam bhati yesvaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam yam dathagato yam chayo nirodhati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. Whatever is the decision in these causes is as well thus taught by the great seer. Okay. I will read the three principles of 9. The three principles was taught by Lama Tsongkhapa. I bow down to the Venerable Lamas. As well as I am able, I will explain the essence of all the teachings of the Buddha, the path praised by the Buddha, Bodhisattvas, conquerors' children, the entrance for those who desire liberation. Listen with a clear mind, you fortunate ones, who are not attached to the joys of secular existence. Strive to get good use of leisure and opportunity, and direct your minds to the path that pleases the Buddhas. Without pure renunciation, an end to the attraction for the pleasure of secular existence is unattainable. The craving for existence also binds beings, thus from the outset seek renunciation. Into this life by reflection on how leisure and opportunity are difficult to find, and how life is ephemeral and without span. Reverse attraction to future lives by repeatedly thinking of the infallibility of karma and its effects and the miseries of samsara. Contemplating thus, when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of secular existence and remain intent on liberation, day and night, the renunciation is born and then. Renunciation, if not tempered by a pure mind of bodhicitta, however, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Therefore, the wise ones generate the excellent mind of bodhicitta, swept up in the current of the four powerful rivers, tied by strong bonds of karma and so on to undo, caught in the iron net of self-grasping, you completely invalid by the darkness of ignorance, born and reborn in boundless cyclic existence. Since that is tormented by the three miseries, thinking of your mothers in this condition generate the supreme mind of Bodhicitta. Although you train in renunciation Bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes the ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of physical existence. Therefore strive to understand dependent arising. One who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana and destroys all focus of apprehension has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. Appearances are infallible dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding that is free of assertions. As long as these two are seen as distinct, you have not yet realized the intent of the Buddhas. When these two realizations are concurrent, where the mere sight of infallible dependent origination concurrently destroys all modes of grasping through definite discernment, at that time the analysis of profound view is perfected. Furthermore, appearances refuse the extreme of existence, emptiness refutes the extreme of non-existence. When you understand that emptiness arises in the form of cause and effect, you are captivated by the view of extremes. O my child, once you have thus realized this path, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination, and quickly reach the final aspired goal. Okay, as we read the three principles of the path, and the reason why we are reading this quite frequently, instead of reading other materials, is for the reason that once you get hold of one text, familiar with this, and as you get familiar with the concept matter as taught in one particular text, then you go to refer to other sources. We see that you understand the other sources as well. So this is the reason. And when we read this, particularly the verse number 14, I remember many years ago when His Holiness was giving teachings on this text, I remember His Holiness explaining that when Lama Tsongkhapa said, "Oh my child," his disciples by the name Tsongkhapa, and in those days travel is not easy, so he could not travel. He came across somebody traveling to the central Tibet from eastern Tibet, and central Tibet where Lama Tsongkhapa was residing. Then the student Tsongkhapa sent a request to Lama Tsongkhapa through the traveler, that to give a teaching to this Tsongkhapa. And then Lama Tsongkhapa composed this text, and at the end he addressed, "O my child, once you have thus realized that 3 points of 3 principles paths, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination and quickly define an aspired goal." So His Holiness says that when you read this, the 3 principles of path, Bodhicitta, perfect review, you get some feel of each of these 3 points. And at the last verse, when you read, "Oh my child," if you can visualize that Lama Tsongkhapa is addressing to you, then it builds a very strong karmic connection with you, and then that assures you that you will take birth where Lama Tsongkhapa is, and then will be trained by Lama Tsongkhapa, and you can go along the path to enlightenment. So this is a very auspicious. It entirely depends on how you look at this verse. Okay, so let's say the last verse once more. "O my child, once you have thus realized the points of the 3 principal paths, seek solitude and cultivate strong determination, and quickly reach the final aspired goal." Okay, yesterday we were citing the rice eating sutra, when the Buddha was passing by a rice field and stopped by and then pointed to the rice seedling or the rice sprout, and pointed to the rice sprout, and the Buddha taught the bhikshus, whoever sees dependent origination will see the dharma, and whoever sees the dharma will see the Buddha. So here, dependent origination, which we're going to study in a while, has various levels. And whosoever understands dependent origin well, then we will see emptiness. By seeing emptiness, then so these two, see empty, dependent origin and emptiness, these two put together will make you see the Dharma. Dharma is the spiritual realizations. Here, Dharma is spiritual realizations, where mental defilements will be removed. You continue with doing this, one who sees the Dharma will see the Buddha. You remove the mental defilements, and finally is removed completely. There's a Buddhahood. So you'll attain your final aspired goal. So this is the first part. And second part, because this exists, that exists. Because this is produced, that is produced. And then because of ignorance, the karma is created, because of which the consciousness, so forth, the 12 links and the heap of miseries arise. And then is not the complete. Then the Buddha continued saying, when ignorance stops, the karma stops, then the consciousness stops, then form stops, and so forth, then the heap of miseries will stop. That is cessation of samsara, or what the Buddha referred to as the fourth seal. What's the fourth seal? Transcending sorrow is the absolute peace. So sometimes people, because of their naivety meaning that they fail to understand, fail to study the Buddhist teachings completely, just read few passages here and there, some books, and then say that, the Buddha taught everything is impermanent, everything is suffering. So, and there's no hope, everything is suffering. This is where the naivety kicks in. It is their failure. It's their failure to really understand what the Buddha taught. So what the Buddha taught, yes, suffering is taught. But the Buddha taught, why the suffering is taught? To stop the suffering. And the Buddha taught that transcending sorrow is absolute peace. People who don't have a proper understanding or do not get the opportunity to study all these things properly, then they just throw these comments. He talks about suffering all the time, and the life is made so miserable. Everything's suffering, everything's impermanent. This is not true. Only the composite phenomena are impermanent. Not everything is impermanent. Only the contaminated things are suffering nature. Not everything is suffering nature. And even the contaminations can be stopped. Your suffering can be stopped, and you can have the ultimate peace. So this is what the Buddha taught. Only with the advent of the Buddha in 2,500 years ago that this was taught. This was taught till that point. From, Big Bang is a different story. Say, like 4 billion years. 4 billion years. The first unicellular, we can't expect unicellular organisms to understand emptiness. Then from there, the organisms continue to evolve, and then finally, like the time, say like the Homo erectus and so forth, and then gradually Homo sapiens, 300,000 years. So for the last 3,000 years, Homo sapiens already evolved, and still no emptiness, no nirvana. So only 2,500 years ago, the Prince Siddhartha came and he discovered the emptiness concept, and then realized the drawback, what was missing with his two teachings of two teachers, the Acharya, Alar Kalam, and Acharya Udreka. So even these two teachers were highly respected. Just imagine Prince Siddhartha, the prince, he was learning from these two teachers. He himself, the Prince Siddhartha himself, was so learned. It's a claim there, but still something is missing there. What is that? The wisdom of emptiness is missing. That is missing, without which the transcendent sorrow does not happen. So in a way, it's the Buddha who appeared and then taught how we can possibly stop all the pains of samsara within you, with others. Okay, so this will be what we discussed, and we also said that these 3 points which the Buddha taught, Arya Sangha summarized them in the form of 3 conditions. Very good. And what are the 3 conditions? Unwavering condition, condition for impermanence, condition of potentiality. Okay, not kinsman. Okay, so so these 3 conditions. So here, what we need to remember is that what the Buddha taught, Arasanga give them, put them into one package and call them as 3 conditions. And whenever there's cause and effect, particularly with respect to your well-being, your suffering, your pains, your joys, your happiness, your compassion, the wisdom and so forth, all these things should necessarily come from the cause, number 1. And the cause should be also impermanent. They cannot be a permanent cause. And the cause should be concomitant with respect to the result. The cause should have the potentiality to give rise to the result. And we put the cause which does not have the potential to give rise to the result. No point. It's just waste of time. Say, it does not help us. It does not help us. Particularly, for example, with blind faith, you can never become a Nobel laureate in physics. 100% you agree? Somebody says, oh, Einstein, Einstein, you recite 100,000 times of 50 years. You will never become a Nobel laureate in physics. Not only Einstein, even the Buddha, you recite this for 100,000 years. You will never become Nobel laureate in physics. And if the Buddha sits next to you, chanting the beautiful chant of the Buddha, and then expecting that you become a Nobel laureate in physics, Buddha will be very upset. If you want to become a Nobel laureate in physics, you have to study physics. And why then do we chant this? We chant this to seek inspiration, to learn compassion from him, to connect to ourselves with the Buddha more, not to become a Nobel laureate in physics. If you become a Nobel laureate in physics, study physics. So, Buddha, we want to learn how to awaken a hidden treasure. This is what the Buddha has manifested. Buddha has embodied. So we want to learn from him. So to connect with him, we come up with different ways to make it happen, to connect with the Buddha first. So these chants, all these things are to connect with the Buddha. And then, if your realization is more profound, then you see that you, the one endowed with the skillfulness and compassion. So skillfulness, what is skillfulness? The wisdom of the dependent origination, the wisdom of the emptiness, and this is the one which drives the compassion to become very skillful. So you think about this, then these qualities reverberates in your ear and your heart. So this is how we acquire these qualities. Okay, so with this, what do we expect to stop painful tears? Keep in mind that the painful tears are because of the cause. Cause also impermanent. And their cause is very painful to give rise to painful experiences. If I don't want this pain, we have to stop these causes. What are they? Contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, elaboration, self-grasping, ignorance. So these are the causes. Okay. So then with this we become extremely realistic. And in the future lifetimes, you're born as a little boy. And then somebody says that, oh, let's go to receive empowerment and so forth. And then on the other side, they say teach you on the 4 seals. You'll be more happy to do the teaching on the 4 seals. 4 seals, you see that it's really, it resonates with reality. But the empowerment and so forth, are they good, bad? They're very good, high level. Study 4 seals And then go to the empowerments. Empowerments become so powerful. They will really empower you. They will really empower you. So, say study ABC. Study ABC and then go that direction. Then you will be empowered with the Shakespearean English. I don't know French. I don't know the French. Moriet. You are saying Morier and this is the Moriet. Okay, so which is real Moriet, I don't know. Okay, good. So this is very important. This is very important to become somebody who's very practical and realistic. So meanwhile, not to waste time. Okay. Having said this, now dependent origination. Whoever sees dependent origination, I'm waiting for somebody. I'm trying to pull the attention of somebody. This another way of pulling the attention. Remain silent. There's another way of pulling the and just drawing the attention. Okay. Who is the origination will see the Dharma. Whoever sees the Dharma will see Buddha. So what is dependent origination? So here in the Rising Sutra, the Shariputra asked this question to Arya Maitreya, and Arya Maitreya gave a detailed answer what the Buddha meant when the Buddha indicated whoever sees dependent origination will see the Dharma. So dependent origination. So detailed explanations there, but I would say that if you just quickly read it and think that I must understand dependent origination, at times it's very profound that you may not get the profundity of that. Instead, you may see it is just on surface level, which may make you feel a little, say, dry. It's quite a danger. So therefore, to make you realistic, go for the false expectations. So Holiness the Dalai Lama explained it in this, summarized everything so beautifully as 3 levels of dependent origination. In fact, if you look at the various sources, you will not put them into one particular package, but His Holiness did it so beautifully. So this is the indication of how somebody is highly realized and highly authoritative in terms of their knowledge and experience of the Buddhist teachings. So His Holiness summarized all the levels of dependent origination on 3 levels. First, dependent origination of the results depends on causes, number 1. Dependent origination of the results depends on causes. Number 2, dependent origination of the parts depends on dependent origination of the wholes depends on the parts. Number 2. Let me repeat it. Dependent origination of the wholes depends on the parts. Number 2. And I'll explain each one of them. Third, dependent origination of dependence on mere mental designation. Dependent origination of dependence on mere mental designation. 3 levels. Okay, let me quickly explain each one of them. Okay, say for example, this flower. This flower fulfills all the 3 levels of dependent origination. This flower fulfills all the 3 levels of dependent origination, and also that, given that there are many seniors, also like to make it a little technical. First, let me explain the 3 levels of dependent origination based on the flower. So the flower fulfills the first level of dependent origination. What is the first level of dependent origination? Dependent origination of the results depends on the causes. So this is the result. The flower is the result of the causes in the form of seed, soil, air, water, sunlight, and so forth. But depends on these causes, the flower came into existence as a result. So the results depends on the causes, the first. Now these flowers also depend on origination of the wholes, depends on the parts. The flowers are whole as a flower, and it depends on the smaller parts like the petals and the stamen and the leaves and so forth. Like the house depends on the multiple parts like the ceiling, the beams, the pillar, the floor, the windows, the doors, rafters, parts. So in a way, so from that point of view, we see that this flowers also, it also fulfills the second level of dependent origination, that it is the dependent originated by dependent as a whole depends on its parts, number 2. Number 3, dependent origination depends on the mere metal destination. Or how many agree with me that this flower, if you look at through electron microscope, although we see it's a flower, beautiful flower, but if you look at through electron microscope, you see like the first you see like the clay, the mud, when it dries, you see the cracks of mud. Something of this kind you will see, something of this kind. So although it looks very, look at this, it's so tender, the texture is so gentle, there's a tender texture there, the color combination is just amazing. But if you look at the electron microscope, we see that this is not at all tender. These are like the crack, like the muds. What are these cracks? These cracks are like these cracks are the cell membranes, cell partition, cell membranes. Then you further zoom in the electron microscope, you see that then you see the concrete, the solid cells, a solid discrete cells. Then a cell is both the nucleus, cytoplasm, and the cell membrane. You'll see that. And the nucleus, you go into the nucleus, you see the chromosomes. Go into the chromosomes, you see the DNA molecules. Go into the DNA molecules, you see the atoms. Okay, for the time being, with physics, the atom seen is composed of the nucleus made of the protons, neutrons, and then the electrons revolve around this. So this is physics today. And what is beyond this still is a mystery for the physicists. Physics cannot go beyond this. It's just the quarks, the size of the electron, that's it. And they cannot go beyond this at the moment. So, okay. Then the next question is that so it's just pool, in other words, in simple words, what do we say of flowers? Nothing but a pool of atoms under the electron microscope. You getting it? But remove the electron microscope, you see a flower. So where is this flower coming from? So you go too close to the object, you see just a pool of atoms, that's it. There's no flower. Where's the flower? Okay, what is this? With the naked eyes, what is this? Flower. Now you look at through electron microscope, you end up seeing the pool of atoms. Pool of atoms. So where is the flower? Where's the flower which you earlier saw? Where is it? Anyone, quick. In your mind? In your mind? Okay, so then when I say, what is this? You have to look at your mind? Or you look at here. If the flower is in your mind, then you should not be looking at here. So where is it? Sorry? My question is, where's the flower? I didn't ask where is the denomination. I asked, where is the flower? I didn't ask where's the denomination of the flower. It's not here. So where's the flower? It's not there. Oh, it's in my hand. Okay, let's say if John Paul is looking at through electron microscope, you are looking at it with your eyes, then John Paul said that there's no flower. He's just seeing pool of atoms. So for him, if I ask where's the flower, what's the answer? No flower. So no flower. But you are saying flower. Who's correct? Both are correct. So no flower is correct. Flower is correct. Both are correct. You have money. You have no money. Both are correct. You are in Switzerland. You are not in Switzerland. Both are correct. Okay, where is the flower you earlier saw? You said that, okay, just imagine without the electron microscope, with your naked eyes, where's the flower? Here. Now look at through the electron microscope, the flower disappears. So earlier you saw the flower, now the flower disappears. Where was that? Where is that flower which you earlier saw? In my hand. Okay, so you are saying it's full of atoms. So what do you mean thinks there's a flower there? What you saw before, how can you evaluate that perception is correct? No, how do you say that memory is correct? How? Okay, if everybody agrees, doesn't mean that it's true. So all the people, we go to Mount Kailash, put on blue glasses, and you say the snow appears as blue. Doesn't mean the snow is blue. Everybody agrees. This is what I'm saying. So with the blue glasses, if you have no clue what the snow is, your first time going there, nobody explained the snow is white. You go there, you see the Mount Kailash is where everyone says, wow, blue snow. Does it mean that it's blue snow? Everybody agrees. Okay, where is this flower? This question. Okay, mere designation. Okay, so, sorry? What's the question? This is what I'm saying. So what they're saying is not here, is mere coming from the subject. This is the answer. This is what they're saying. Hmm? Who said it? I see, you said designation. You said denomination. You used the word denomination. Did you hear?
Yeah, but it's just the language.
How do you know that he meant it?
Because I know him. Because he speaks
Huh?
Because he speaks French.
So denomination is French. Denomination is for the designation. Oh, yeah, ask him. Designation. They'll same. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay. So my question is, say, what is that? There's just a pool of atoms. Pool of atoms. And where's the flower? It's there. But you're seeing pool of atoms. You don't see flower. If it is there, then if it's there, what are you seeing? You're seeing there. What you're seeing is a flower. If the flower should be there, you'll be seeing it. If flower is a visual object, you should be seeing it. And flowers are appealing, and the atoms are not appealing. So where's the flower? So here we said, your name? Flo-Yong. What Flo-Yong has said and what Kusala said, that is a designation. It's designated by your mind. It's designated by mind. So we see that the flower, it exists. It exists. It exists, but it exists by designation. What designates the flower? What designates? Our mind designates. The subject designates. Because it is a subjective designation, subject is not the flower. Designating mind is not the flower. You agree? Designating mind is not the flower, but the flower comes into being by dependence on this designating mind. You're getting it? Comes into being by dependence on this designated mind. So which means that it's not really there 100% from the object. It is to depend on the designated mind. So that is known as the dependent origination of dependence on the mere designation. So three levels of dependent origination. Now I like to make it a little technical. It doesn't mean difficult. Difficult and technical, these two are different. So make it a little technical, particularly for the senior ones. But the younger ones also, younger ones meaning what? Beginners. Beginners, you also pay attention to this. This is the information for us. Same of the 3 levels of dependent origination of the 4 Buddhist schools. The first 3 schools, they accept only the first level of dependent origination. In other words, for them, when they talk about dependent origination, is only the first level of dependent origination. Let me repeat it. First 3 schools, what are the first 3 Buddhist schools? Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chittamatra. For these three schools, dependent origination means only the first level. When the Buddha taught, but whoever sees dependent origination will see the dharma. So here, when the Buddha taught this for the Vaibhashika, Sautra, and Chittamatra, the Buddha meant the first level of dependent origination. But for the Madhyamikas, all 3 levels of dependent origination are interpreted as dependent origination. So this was the distinction that we need to keep in mind. In other words, say the first level of dependent origination is applicable only to impermanent phenomena. Let me repeat it. First level of dependent origination is applicable only to impermanent phenomena. It's not applicable to the permanent phenomena. So whereas the second level and the third level, these two are applicable to all phenomena across the board of phenomena, and the permanent phenomena as well as impermanent phenomena. So this is one technical thing that we need to remember. So with this in mind, the first level of dependent origination, from this ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tathagato ihavatat. So this mantra, which we discussed this morning, the morning session, the morning practice session, this mantra purely the teaches the first level of dependent origination, the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. And this is very important. Law of cause and effect, and we also talk about the law of karma. And if we say law of karma, people may think this is more religious concept. But it's a law of cause and effect. So Albert Einstein, in his presentation of physics, has nothing to do with any religiosity. So when quantum mechanics, when the quantum physicists, when they talk about the concept of randomness in quantum mechanics, and while Albert Einstein, he himself contributed to quantum mechanics. But when the quantum physicists like Niels Bohr and Heisenberg, when they came up with the idea of the randomness in quantum physics, Einstein said that this is not acceptable. Concept of randomness is not acceptable because whole universe is operating based on the physical law of cause and effect. Let me repeat it, what Einstein said. So it's all about the debate on physics. It's not to do with the religion. So what he said is that the concept of randomness is not acceptable because the whole universe is operating based on the physical law of cause and effect. So that was like 150 years ago. And the Buddha, 2,500 years ago, said that the whole universe is operating based on the law of cause and effect. Let me repeat it. The Buddha taught 2,500 years ago the whole universe is operating based on the law of cause and effect. And the law of cause and effect, we see that it can be classified into 2 groups, 2 categories. One is the natural law of cause and effect, natural law of cause and effect. For example, gravity. gravity as a cause, and then the gravity of the sun is a cause. Likewise, the gravity of the other planets is a cause, and the planets not escaping from the sun as a result. The planets don't escape from the sun because of the gravity. Gravity is the reason, gravity is a cause for to pull the other planets, the 9 planets or the 8 planets, to the sun. That's the result. That's the cause and effect. It's a natural cause and effect. And say for example, say this fan. I hit the fan and the fan falls. I hit with the force unintentionally and the fan falls, falling, and the fan breaks. That's the effect. Because of the fan falling as a cause, fan falling because my hand accidentally hit the fan and it fell. So these are the causes, this is all natural cause and effect. And there is the karmic cause and effect. What is karmic cause and effect? Say, for example, if the bees, the flies, what do they do? In space, you have mosquitoes. Huh? You have mosquitoes. And mosquitoes, how do they sound? How do they sound? Zzz, you're getting it? Then come to ears, and then you do like this. You do like this, it temporarily disappears. Again, you move your hand down, again it comes back. If you hit the fan falls, and the fan does not come back. The fan doesn't come back. But this mosquito, you do like this, it runs away, and again it comes back. Fan doesn't come back. So if fan doesn't come back, that is the natural law of cause and effect. But the bee, or you also have bees, flies, mosquitoes. You disturb them, they run away, and again you put a hand back, again they come back. So, same, you move your hands as a cause, and the mosquito is running away from you is the effect. And you move your hand down is the cause, and the fly is coming back is the effect. Cause and effect. So here the cause and effect is slightly different from the fan falling, not coming back, was the mosquitoes running away from you and coming back. There's a difference. What is that difference? Anyone? Do you see any difference? What is that factor which makes the difference? Yes, true. If somebody can make it more clear. So what makes him decide? His wings decide, or the color of the wing decides? Consciousness. Very good. So there's a consciousness there which makes him decide, which makes him come back. If there's no consciousness, it will not come back. The fan does not come back. So there is intention. Intention makes the movement. For example, say somebody says, you step it in the public. And he did not really pull you like this, push you like this. He did not even touch you, but your heart starts to move. Duk, 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 duk. Movement takes place. This movement, what makes it move? Because this heart is the bodily organ, a solid bodily organ that starts to move. Why? Because there's a subtle movement of the physiological movement is taking place. This physiological movement of this subtle energy moves by the subtle mind. Subtle mind because of the gross mind. Gross mind affects the subtle mind affects the subtle energy affects the physiology affects your organs. So the heart starts to move. Movement takes place. So this movement was initially created by the mental factor known as intention. It's the mental movement. That mental movement translated into physical movement. How many agree with me that you step it and the heart starts moving? And small child says, you step it and you say, it's so cute. It's very different. And a bigger person says, you step it, heart starts to move. And the face turns, angry face. A small child says, just a 2 years old child who can hardly walk. So you just step it. And you're so cute. There's no movement happening. Look, this is intention inside. So, cause and effect driven by the intention. That's a karmic cause and effect. Where the intention is involved, that becomes karmic cause and effect. Where the intention is missing, that is a natural cause and effect. So cause and effect we can divide into two. For example, like, say, this fan makes like a buzzing sound. See, like this. But the cars, what they make, the sound they make is very different. It's not that the car wants to produce different than this. This is purely mechanical thing. Purely mechanical, it doesn't involve any intention. Okay, so at times, what is seen as natural cause and effect and the karmic cause and effect, they can also overlap at times. At times, it can be purely separate. Okay, so these decisions we have to make. So these all come under what is known as the dependent origination of the results depends on the causes. And the karmic cause and effect. Karmic cause and effect, if you're ignorant of this, what's the consequence? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, this is ignorance in general. Ignorance in general gives rise to, because of the ignorance, karma, consciousness, name and form, and finally aging, death, and the heap of miseries ensue. This is what the Buddha taught. Okay, particularly ignorance which misconceives the law of cause and effect. What is the consequence of that? Ignorance itself is wrong perception. What's the consequence? Yes. So, disbelief in the cause and effect then makes us to engage. Okay, if they say, as long as somebody does not see me stealing something, or somebody doesn't see me evading tax, then it's okay. You are, say, you're ignorant of the law of cause and effect. As long as somebody doesn't know that I'm being cruel to somebody, then it's fine. No, law of karma is there. So, the cruelty is the cause giving rise to the painful experience in the future. Cause and effect. And you disregard this, if you disregard the concept, if you don't believe in this concept, then the tendency for you to be cruel happens. By being cruel, the consequences are suffering. So, the ignorance, misconceiving the law of cause and effect, that results us to engage in the non-virtuous actions, because of which will end up into suffering. Whereas the ignorance which misconceives the reality of things as objective real, that's the one which binds us in samsara. That's it. So binding in samsara and inflicting suffering, these are very different. So in samsara, you can have a contaminated happiness. But even the contaminated happiness is under the influence of the self-grasping ignorance, the ignorance viewing things as object real. Okay, so good. Now, so this is very important to gain conviction in the efficacy of cause and effect. Cause and effect, this is so important. If we don't have this, then the basis for the emptiness concept is lost. Because for the emptiness concept, your conviction law of karma should increase. If with emptiness concept, your conviction law of karma decreases, you fall into nihilism. This is not emptiness. It's for this reason that the Buddha, the Arya Nagarjuna, gave a very strong warning, saying that having realized emptiness and yet conform to the law of cause and effect, let me repeat it, Having realized emptiness and yet conform to the law of the karma, there is a wonder of all the wonders, and this is the marvel of all the marvels. This is amazement of all the amazements, and this is wonder of all the wonders. Saying that where you understand the emptiness and respectful law of karma increases, your conviction law of karma increases, that is the indication that you are going the proper track. You understand emptiness is the going the proper track. Whereas in the facade of understanding emptiness, if you tend to disregard the law of cause and effect, which means that we are falling into nihilism. So this is the warning that we need to keep in mind. Okay. So with this, now we go more into dependent origination. So emptiness and dependent origination is the same coin. Let me repeat it. Emptiness and dependent origination, these are the two sides of the same coin. So emptiness divorce of the dependent origination. Only emptiness, this is nihilism. Dependent origination, divorce of emptiness, this is absolutism. Only when the two are together, that is the middle way. This is extremely important. Okay, this is a statement that I made. Don't just think that, okay, it must be correct. So you learn it. You learn it, and what should we do? We should not be too quick to accept, not quick to reject. Take it, and then subject it to analysis, and see if it makes sense. And if it makes sense, accept it. If it doesn't make sense, okay. If it doesn't make sense, there can be two reasons why it is not making sense. There can be two reasons why it's not making sense. Either the concept is wrong, or your hardware is too outdated. Your hardware may be too outdated that today's sophisticated Nagarjuna software cannot be working. The most sophisticated software is not working because your hardware is too outdated, obsolete. You're getting it? So what should you do? Don't discard the software. Upgrade your hardware. You're getting it? Okay. Or 2 plus 3 equals 10. This is wrong concept. Reject it. You're getting it? E equals MC square. It doesn't make sense to me. Upgrade your hardware. Don't discard this software. E equals MC square. How many you know how to derive this? E equals MC square. Simply because you do not know how to derive it, don't discard it. Upgrade your hardware. You're getting it? Concept is not wrong. 2 plus 3 equals 10. No need to upgrade the hardware. Discard the concept. It's wrong. Okay, so this is very important for us. So with this in mind, now, how do we see emptiness and dependent origination, the two? By seeing emptiness, this is what Nagarjuna taught. Okay, anybody who can show this? Who can show this? Anybody who can show this? 257. Okay, turn to page 257. Page 257. Huh? Two, 5, 7. Okay. Let's say 257 or 356. So it says, those who understand this emptiness of phenomena, yet also conform to the law of karma and its results. That is a dependent origination. You understand emptiness and your respect for law of karma, your respect for dependent origination increases. That is more amazing than amazing. That is more wondrous than wondrous. Okay, so with this in mind, now let me make some statements. Let me make some statements in order to gradually dive into emptiness. Because emptiness is going to be an interesting subject. At the same time, we're gullible. We're gullible to fall into nihilism easily. So therefore, the focus, the emphasis on dependent origination is extremely required. In absence of that, even if one is intelligent, you can easily fall prey to nihilism. In fact, there's a very frequent phenomena, which frequent thing, I think that that I meet with, say doing these such retreats, and once in a while, some philosophy students, Western philosophy students, they happen to attend the retreats, but the moment I speak about emptiness and I mention Arya Nagarjuna, they say, oh, Nagarjuna is nihilist. Nagarjuna is idealist. And then I ask them very confidently, and I ask them, how long did you study Arya Nagarjuna? For 20 years? I said, no. Then 2 years, 3 years? No, 2 days. Not full 2 days. Maybe 15 minutes today and 15 minutes tomorrow. The next 15 minutes and 15 minutes, and said Nagarjuna is idealist. When I say Nagarjuna is nihilist, idealist, no goosebumps will come on the body. Don't forget it. When I say Nagarjuna is idealist, nihilist, no goosebumps will come to you. Whereas the moment you say Arya Nagarjuna, then something comes, goosebumps come in the body, which means that you are something more than nihilism. That's the beauty. That's the strength. To reach to that level of the amazement to hear the word, hear the name Arya Nagarjuna, and feel the goosebumps come in the body. Reverence comes. You just feel like crying to see the wonder of the depth of this enlightened being's wisdom. That is required. So the moment you say Nagarjuna is nihilist, you're creating a debt end to yourself. That is the greatest of the disservice to yourself. Let me repeat it. This is the greatest of the disservice to yourself. Finally, what Arya Nagarjuna is teaching is to stop our painful tears. And you are stopping that. You're stopping the flow of this incredibly nuanced the wisdom from you getting it. You're stopping that. You're blocking it. And then in the process, you continue to shed tears. You continue to suffer. So this is what it is. So with this mind, that means why this is happening is because that they jump into emptiness directly. And in fact, there was one professor who passed away now, and the very, very senior professor. And the first time I met him, he was really claimed as a professor, as a scholar, as the authority in Buddhist philosophy and the Indian philosophy in general. And yes, then the people around, they promote. And when I meet him, I see one thing which is extremely good, that I admire profoundly. That he has a very open mind. That's amazing, not rigid. He has a very open mind. But the only thing is that what is over the span of like few years of they say meeting with each other, I noticed that he did not have a proper formal studies of the Buddhist philosophy. He was a Western philosopher, Indian, but his expertise is in Western philosophy. So meanwhile, he reads Buddhist philosophy and then he starts teaching. So this is where people can make mistake. And the first time I was a little shocked was that in a conference, he was the chairman of the particular session. And then somebody asked a question and he responded. He said that in Buddhism there's no self. Then I thought, okay, he must be saying there's no intrinsic self. I just interpreted myself to defend him. And then he went on to say that in Buddhism nothing exists. Then I thought that, okay, my interpretation of him, this is not fair. He's saying, literally saying in Buddhism nothing's there. And he's defending it by saying, that, quoting the Buddha, saying that Buddha taught everything is empty and selflessness. So then I realized, oh, this is where the systematic learning is missing. You read it and you just go at a face value, literal, you just get stuck with the literal meaning. Okay, so for that, the dependent origination, this is so important, so important. So let me make some statements. First statement that I like to make is, emptiness equals dependent origination. Number two, dependent origination equals the middle way. Let me repeat it. First statement, emptiness equals dependent origination. And dependent origination equals middle way. So I say A equals B, B equals C. What is your deduction? Therefore, A equals C. So likewise, I said emptiness equals dependent origination, and dependent origination equals middle way. Therefore, your deduction, therefore, emptiness equals middle way. Okay, so this is a statement that I made, and don't take for granted that this is what I'm saying. Don't follow blindly, thinking that this is correct. So we have to analyze, we have to examine it, we have to not the inquire. So, how is it that emptiness equals dependent origination? First, you have to check it. Then check how. What is that? Emptiness equals dependent origination. How dependent origination equals middle way. Once you're convinced with these two things, then the deduction comes automatically. So first, how emptiness equals middle way. Sorry, how emptiness equals dependent origination. For that, we need to know 5 points. How emptiness equals dependent origination. For that, we need to know 5 points. It's not difficult. It's not difficult, but it expects us to be serious. Serious meaning the 5 points. Oh yeah, first let me see what the 5 points are. And then that's easy. If this is your mindset, then, and some people, they will make notes. They'll make notes, and after a while, those people who make notes may visit, may not visit. Those who visit, then we have all the 5 points on the fingertips, and then another 5 points, another 5 points, then the huge, these array of the points, and then all the huge, gigantic, what is that? The sky-rise buildings. It's nothing but made of the bricks, tiny bricks. And then you stack one of and gradually it becomes a sky-rise, the building. So, likewise, whereas those people who say, oh, this tiny brick is easy, tiny brick easy, and at the end of the day, you have nothing. Okay, so therefore, the point is that this is where we need to take every small piece is important, to feel the importance of these and to make sure that you remember these points. Okay, 5 points to see how emptiness equals dependent origination. The first is emptiness is easy. Emptiness. Second, emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Okay. Okay. I think last year when I was going to northeast of India, It was my first time by road, most likely yes, first time by road. And on the road, I saw on the retaining walls of the road, because it's the mountainous range, retaining walls to avoid the landslide. The retaining walls. What is written? B-R-O. B-R-O means brother. And everywhere it was a bro. And there's no sis. Only bro. No sister. So, and that is not just somebody casually wrote it. It's professionally written. Professionally written. It's not by individuals. It's properly by the administration, the government. Everywhere is bro. I was just, there's uneasiness there. Whenever there's discrimination, I feel really unhappy. Any form of discrimination, whatever, gender discrimination, caste discrimination, or what, based on whatever social discrimination, it makes me mentally sick. So I did not really enjoy the journey, because it's always bro. And I was wondering, so individual can write bro is fine, but then they professionally done by the administration, P-R-O, huge, and spend a lot of money. Okay, so why so biased? Bro, no sis. Yes, Ajikbala. Amazing. So later what happened was that somewhere then bro and the full form was written. Border Road Organization. Then I felt relieved. Okay, then it's okay. That's acceptable. Thank you, Ajikbala. Yes, I know. Yes, thank you. So it says Border Road Organization. Don't take it literally. If you take it literally, it will unnecessarily. If you're male chauvinist, you feel so proud. If you are, if you are against male chauvinism, you feel sad, right? If you know the full form, then both of you will be okay, right? There's no problem. So therefore, emptiness. Don't take it literally. Bro, don't take it literally. It's a short form of Border Road Organization. Likewise, emptiness, don't take it literally. It is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Don't forget it. It is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Okay, number one, emptiness. Number two, it is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Number three, emptiness of independent existence means nothing exists independently. Number three. Okay, number three. Nothing exists independently. Number four. Nothing exists independently means everything exists by. Okay, nothing exists independently means everything exists by dependence. Very good. Okay, I think this one. Yes. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. Okay, what is number one? Number two, emptiness is a short form of emptiness of independent existence. Number three, that emptiness of independent existence means nothing exists independently. Number four, nothing exists independently means everything exists by dependence. Number five, because everything is dependent, everything exists by dependence, everything is dependently originated. This is number five. So therefore, with these 5 points, we understand that emptiness equals dependent origination. What is next? Dependent origination equals the middle way. Now they have to prove that. How is it that dependent origination equals the middle way? Dependent origination has two sides. dependence and origination. It has two sides, dependence or origination. Dependence, when you say dependence, what is the opposite of dependence? What is the opposite of dependence? Independence. So when you say dependence, you reject independence. And independence, absolute, they all mean the same. So when you say dependence, you reject the extreme of absolutism. Let me repeat it. When you say dependence, it rejects the extreme of absolutism. And the other side is origination. Origination means something comes into origination, something comes into existence. What is the opposite of existence? Non-existence or nihilism. So with the origination, it rejects the extreme of nihilism. Dependence, it rejects the extreme of absolutism. Origination, it rejects the extreme of nihilism. Bringing the two together rejects the two extremes. Rejecting the two extremes is following the middle way. This is how dependent origination means the middle way. Okay, how many of you minimum get 80% or above? Minimum 80%, raise hands. Very good. Okay. So this is where we understand that the emptiness equals dependent origination. Dependent origination equals middle way. Therefore, emptiness equals the middle way. It is not nihilism. This is what we need to remember. Okay, Buddhist mind. Now, given that we don't have much time, so we've only about 3 minutes now, and then the next class, maybe like 1 hour for 1 hour for the next class, and then we'll conclude with the soul offering. Yeah. Okay, so we have another 2 minutes. Let me quickly jump into say there's some concepts. Okay, because this is not a beginner class, I can see many seniors. So therefore, I like to make it a little technical as well. We need to know a set of 5 pairs. Okay, 5 pairs. Okay, we need to identify these. This is very important. Number 1, subjective as opposed to objective. 1 pair, subjective, and objective means subjective versus objective. Next, dependent as opposed to independent. Next, conventional as opposed to ultimate. Then deceptive as opposed to true existence. Then relative as opposed to absolute existence. Okay, let me say it once more. The first, subjective as opposed to objective. Dependent as opposed to independent. Conventional as opposed to ultimate. Deceptive as opposed to true existence. And finally, relative as opposed to relative existence as opposed to absolute existence. Okay, these are 5 pairs we need to remember. And for information, out of 5 pairs, the first five in these 5 pairs, the first 5, they are synonymous, and the next 5, they are synonymous. So what are the first 5? Subjective, dependent, conventional, deceptive, relative. So these are all synonymous. And the next 5, objective, independent, ultimate, true existence, and absolute existence. They're all synonymous. Don't forget this. So meanwhile, for the time being, we can just say that, okay, these are the 5, these are the set of 5, this is set of 5, they are synonymous, the first 5 is synonymous, next 5 is synonymous. Okay, just learn this for time being. Later on, with the advancing yourself in the study of emptiness more precisely, and you get a broad picture of emptiness, broad picture of emptiness, broad picture of dependent origination, then your job is to see that, okay, why is everything conventional existence? Because they are subjective existence, don't go for that. Or subjective existence and conventional existence, these two are synonymous. But say how you understand them. How you understand them, they so they will point to the same point. So it says that all roads lead to Rome. Okay. All roads lead to Rome. Okay. So likewise, all these 5 will point to the same point, but you have to understand each one of them separately. Each one separately. For time being, don't go into too detail. Oh, what is meant by object? What is meant by here subjective, conventional, or dependent, or deceptive, or the relative. What do you mean by them? Don't go too much into detail for the time being. If you go too much into time being, unnecessary, you are torturing yourself. You will not find it because your hardware is not yet developed. We have to develop the hardware for the first time. For time being, let the hardware grow. Just learn these things. While we're learning these things, oh, these are synonymous, the emptiness equals dependent origin equals middle way, therefore emptiness. So all these are, we are trying to improve our hardware. We're upgrading the hardware. And then when you get the broad picture, then you can go into detail why everything is conventional existing. What does it mean by that? What's the special meaning of this conventional existing? What is especially why the things are said to be dependent? What I mean by that? What's the special meaning of this? Each words, they have their own meanings. Okay. So, how many of you are familiar with this word subjective and objective? Subjective, objective. Okay, we are pretty familiar with that. Can you give an example of not example, just tell me, what does it mean by subjective? To know subjective, you know the subject. What is subjective? Okay, subjective means projection from my mind. Your mind is a subject, and what it projects, act of projection is known as the subject projection, or the subjectively existing. Very good. Conventional. What does it mean by conventional? To know what is conventional, you have to know convention. How do you use, how many of you, okay, French, convention was you. Okay, very good. So how many you have used this word convention in your life? How many you have used this word convention in your life? Very good. What do you understand by convention? Don't think of philosophy. Don't think of philosophy. How you would use it in a natural way, in a natural conversation. How you use this word convention? General agreement. Can you give me an example?
Well, I'm thinking actually of like in international law, you have conventions.
Okay, Geneva Convention.
And then it reflects the meaning, right? Because lots of people came together and agreed what was generally.
Okay, convention, what Stephen is saying is convention has a connotation of many people coming together and agreeing to a point. This is perfectly correct. Anyone else? Anyone else? How do you use the word convention in your own ways? Convention. Okay, rules. Christine says rules as conventions. This is a very important point. We need to elaborate on this in a while. Yes. Okay, that is conviction. Convention. Convention. Okay, you may say that, okay, you are all agreeing, but I don't agree with this. And anyway, I'm not a conventional person. My answers are usually not conventional. You're getting it? So what you say may be right. Although I don't agree with you, usually my answers are not really conventional. Okay, anyone else? Okay. Now, how do you use the word? How do you use the word convention in your day-to-day life? Yes. Exactly, exactly. Okay, give me some examples. What your name? Floyon. What Floyon said, that 2 people, 3, 5, it doesn't matter, 2 is just symbolic. 2, 3, 4, 5, they come together, they agree, to a point, so that becomes convention. So can you give me some examples of such things? Many things are there. Anyone? Okay, Nicola is saying, Nicola, so there's so many things in his mind, and it's coming up like this, and he casually throws one rules of the law, rules of the road traffic rules. Okay. Think of these very seriously. The more you think about these, think of many examples, particularly more people, give more examples, if possible, note them down. Note them down. Note them down. Let us think one by subjective mode. Then the objectives and emptiness will be very quick. So it's very important to note down the examples people are giving. Okay, one is the traffic rules, countries. Exactly, peace conventions, like what? Fonyo? No, your name. Florian, yes. Okay, Florian. Thank you. Okay. So is there any convention between your name? Huh? Your name? I know. So therefore I'm asking if there's any convention between two of you. Right? Hey, Florian, you are allowed to do this, not that. Hey, Erica, you are allowed to do this, not that. You're getting any convention? Okay, anyone else? Oh, here. Currencies is a convention. How? Is a very, still I'm not resolved. I still have questions. I'm just saying this like a miracle, how the money works. It's amazing. I don't understand it. Still I don't understand it. It's a reality, but still I don't understand it. I'm here to meet with experts on this. Is there anybody who's expert in this? For example, exchange rates. Exchange rates, the Swiss franc is like the 100-something Indian rupees. Why not? 1 Indian rupees is 100 the Swiss franc. Why not? Why? These are all big questions. And is it that one country can just, okay, Swiss franc is, then the Swiss government can produce, like, say, if a government produce X amount of the paper currency, then why not you make it multiply by thousands and then it becomes so rich? No, it doesn't work like this. If you produce extra, X multiplied by instantly, it'll drop. How does it work? Still, I don't know. Yet it works. Yet this is how it works. Okay, anyone else? This is very interesting. Thank you. How we say in a week has 7 days. Why not 8 days? A week, why not it has issue of 8? Why not it has 8 days? Why only 7 days? A month, why sometimes 30, sometimes 31? Once in 4 years, 29 days. Why not fixed? It's not a lunar calendar, it's a solar calendar. So how? So why? Why don't you make it fixed? 1 month, every month, 30 days, fixed. And if it has 30 days, why 30 days? They're amazing. And then in 1 day, 24 hours. Why not 1 day is like 30 hours? Why only 24 hours? Why? So these are all the questions. And if you say, no, it's somebody decided, and it is the span, sunrise, and the next day before sunrise. So that duration divided into 24, it becomes 24 hours. Why not you divide it into 30? Make it uniform. 30 days a month, 30 hours a day, and then 30 minutes, 1 hour, and 30 seconds, 1 minute. Why not? It's all different. It's very confusing. Why do you have to confuse people? Okay, so these are all the questions. Okay, anyone else? Okay, yes. Yes, wintertime and summertime. Wintertime, summertime. Wintertime, summertime, yes. Angela. A name. Say, okay, I'm looking at a face. I'm looking at a face. Okay, let's say, what is that? Hey, ready? I'm going to look at a face. Taylor Swift. It's just a name. It's just a name. A table. A table. It's just a name. Taylor Swift is just a name. But what name brings ha 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 ha? What name table is very boring. What name? It's just names. It's purely convention. Pure convention. But convention to emotions in us. Language. Language is another very important concept of the conventions. Okay, so we have to think of each of these, and what I'm saying is that in the next class we have 1 hour, so let's see in 1 hour what you do. You jump into emptiness or this, that. Okay, let's stop here. Tage tuje shageri so chon shenge meto dege bonjomba segelumbo tabo jebe ko shage gebo kyala chasano oh mone mone mahamona yeswa 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 oh mone mahamona yeswa oh mone mone Mahamunaya Swaha. Okay, three prostrations together.